is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path.
A reading from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verses 6 to 15. Brothers and sisters, learn from myself and Apollos not to go beyond what is written, so that none of you will be inflated with pride in favor of one person over against another. Who confers distinction upon you? What do you possess that you have not received? But if you have received it, why are you boasting as if you did not receive it? You are already satisfied. You have already grown rich. You have become kings without us. Indeed, I wish that you had become kings, so that we also might become kings with you. For as I see it, God has exhibited us apostles as the last of all, like people sentenced to death, since we have become a spectacle to the world, to angels and men alike. We are fools on Christ's account, but you are wise in Christ. We are weak, but you are strong. You are held in honor, but we in disrepute. To this very hour we go hungry and thirsty. We are poorly clad and roughly treated. We wander about homeless and we toil, working with our own hands. When ridiculed we bless, when persecuted we endure, when slandered we respond gently. We have become like the world's rubbish, the scum of all, to this very moment. I am writing you this not to shame you, but to admonish you as my beloved children. Even if you should have countless guides to Christ, yet you do not have many fathers. For I became your father in Christ Jesus through the gospel. This is the word of the Lord.
A reading from the Holy Gospel of St. Luke, chapter 6, verses 1 to 5. While Jesus was going through a field of grain on a Sabbath, his disciples were picking the heads of grain, rubbing them in their hands and eating them. Some Pharisees said, "Why are you doing what is unlawful on the Sabbath?" Jesus said to them in reply, "Have you not read what David did when he and those who were with him were hungry? How he went into the house of God, took the bread offering, which only the priests could lawfully eat, ate of it, and shared it with his companions? Then he said to them, 'The Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath.'" The Gospel of the Lord.
In the family, as well as in an institution or a workplace, there is always a head who makes decisions, who takes decisions, and who initiates the plans. In the same way, today, when Jesus is once again found at crossroads, when his disciples plucked wheat or grain on the Sabbath day, when they were passing a field, it was seen by some Pharisees, and they came and asked Jesus, "Is it lawful to do this work or to pluck grain and eat on a Sabbath day?" And what happened, my dear friends? They were dumbfounded when Jesus drew himself back to the days of King David, where he himself, when he was hungry, he himself went into the store which was only for the priest and got grain and ate and gave it to his servants. And when Jesus concludes this statement, concludes this story, he very beautifully says, "The Son of Man is Lord and rules over the Sabbath." It is very clear that who makes decisions, who takes decisions, and who initiates the human plans It is the Lord Himself, my dear friends. At times, we may have our ways. At times, we may have our intentions of doing things. At times, we may get decisions according to the prevailing situation. But always keep in mind, it is the Lord who has the authority and power over everything that is happening under the earth. And it is our responsibility always to give Him that place in our lives, to give Him that place in our family, in our workplace, wherever we work, my dear friends. If that happens, what is going to happen is next is that we will be jeered, we will be initiated, not by our human thinking, but by the divinely made wisdom.